Isaiah 53. Who has believed our report? To whom is the arm of Adonai revealed? For he grew up before him like a tender shoot, like a root out of dry ground. He had no form or majesty that we should look at him, nor beauty that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief, one from whom people hide their faces. He was despised, and we did not esteem him. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our pains, yet we esteemed him stricken, struck by God, and afflicted. But he was pierced because of our transgressions, crushed because of our iniquities. The chastisement for our shalom was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. We all like sheep have gone astray, each of us turned to his own way. So Adonai has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. Like a lamb led to the slaughter, like a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. Because of oppression and judgment, he was taken away. As for his generation, who considered? For he was cut off from the land of the living for the transgression of my people. The stroke was theirs. His grave was given with the wicked, and by a rich man in his death, though he had done no violence, nor was there any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased Adonai to bruise him. He caused him to suffer. If he makes his soul a guilt offering, he will see his offspring. He will prolong his days, and the will of Adonai will succeed by his hand. As a result of the anguish of his soul, he will see it and be satisfied by his knowledge. The righteous one, my servant, will make many righteous, and he will bear their iniquities. Therefore, I will give him a portion with the great, and he will divide the spoil with the mighty, because he poured out his soul to death and was counted with transgressors. For he bore the sin of many and interceded for the transgressors. Psalm 22. The Suffering Servant. For the music director, on the doe of the dawn, a psalm of David. My God, why have you forsaken me? Distant from my salvation are the words of my groaning. O my God, I cried out by day, but you did not answer, by night, but there was no rest for me. Yet you are holy, enthroned on the praises of Israel. In you our fathers put their trust. They trusted, and you delivered them. They cried to you and were delivered. In you they trusted, and were not disappointed. Am I a worm and not a man? Am I a scorn of men, despised by people? All who see me mock me. They curl their lips, shaking their heads. Rely on Adonai. Let him deliver him. Let him rescue him, since he delights in him. Yet you bring me out of the womb, made me secure at my mother's breasts. From the womb I was cast on you. From my mother's womb you have been my God. Be not far from me, for trouble is near. There is no one to help. Many bulls have surrounded me. Strong bulls of Bashan encircled me. They open wide their mouths against me, like a tearing, roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are disjointed. My heart is like wax, melting within my innards. My strength is dried up like a clay pot. My tongue clings to my jaws. You lay me in the dust of death. For dogs have surrounded me, a band of evildoers has closed in on me. They pierced my hands and my feet. I can count all my bones. They stare, they gape at me. They divided my clothes among them and cast lots for my garment. But you, Adonai, be not far off. O my strength, come quickly to my aid. Deliver my soul from the sword, my only one from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth, from the horns of the wild oxen. Rescue me. I will declare your name to my brothers. I will praise you amid the congregation. You who fear Adonai, praise him. All Jacob's descendants, glorify him. Revere him, all you seed of Israel. For he has not despised or disdained the suffering of the lowly one, nor has he hidden his face from him. But when he cried to him, he heard. From you is my praise in the great assembly. I will fulfill my vows before those who fear him. Let the poor eat and be satisfied. Let them who seek after him praise Adonai. May your hearts live forever. All the ends of the earth will remember and turn to Adonai. All the families of the nations will bow down before you. For the kingdom belongs to Adonai, and he rules over the nations. All the rich of the earth will feast and worship. Everyone who goes down to the dust will kneel before him, even the one who could not keep his own soul alive. His posterity will serve him, telling the next generation about my Lord. They will come and declare his righteousness to a people yet to be born, because he has done it. The 4 cups of the Passover Seder can be seen in Exodus 6, verses 6 through 7, the cup of sanctification, the cup of deliverance, the cup of redemption, and the cup of praise. Verse 6. Therefore say to Bnei Yisrael, I am Adonai, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. Sanctification. I will deliver you from their bondage, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments, deliverance and redemption. I will take you to myself as a people, and I will be your God. You will know that I am Adonai your God, who brought you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. And when we know the truth of God, we cannot help but praise him. The truth of Adonai is to be sanctified by him, to be set apart, to be considered holy, to be delivered from the slavery to sin and death, to be redeemed by his grace, and to praise him for all he has done. Jeremiah 31, verses 30 through 33. New covenant foretold. Behold, the days are coming. It is a declaration of Adonai, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not like the covenant I made with their fathers in the day I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. For they broke my covenant, though I was a husband to them. It is a declaration of Adonai. But this is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel after those days. It is a declaration of Adonai. I will put my Torah within them. Yes, I will write it on their heart. I will be their God, and they will be my people. No longer will each teach his neighbor or each his brother, saying, Know Adonai, for they will all know me, from the least of them to the greatest. It is a declaration of Adonai. For I will forgive their iniquity. Their sin I will remember no more. Chag Pesach Sameach. May the richness of this holiday and the light of Messiah fill you in this season.